Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. Somebody asked me today, why do some guys just flirt with everybody? Well, when I was in high school, I went home and asked my dad that one time. I was like, what's up with that, right? Because I would just see these dudes that would just be like trying to spit game at everybody. And he said, he goes, some guys are just like horny like that and they don't have any standards, and it's called the numbers game. He goes, guys of all ages do that, by the way. Some guys are just like, they figure that somebody's got to say yes eventually. And some guys really don't have any standards. Some guys have less standards than other guys. And they figure they're going to hit enough women, somebody's eventually going to say yes. Right? So, one time, and he's right, some guys actually do that. Because Etalon used to work in the mall. So sometimes I used to go to the mall and just like wait for him to get off work. So I would just like hang out there and I would watch guys at the mall hang out and try to spit game at different chicks. So one time I was at Subway just drinking my drink or whatever. I'm just watching this guy and he would try to spit game at everybody that walked by. He would just walk by and he would just like stare at butts and see who looked good to him or whatever, and he would just try to like talk to everybody, and most of them would just ignore him. But he would still try to spit game at everybody, and he would try to talk, and I would just like stand there and watch him and go like and just laugh at him, right? And he saw me laughing at him, but that didn't deter him. I mean, like for me over there, like, laughing at him and stuff like that, it didn't throw him off his path or anything. He didn't get distracted by me laughing at him. He just kept going. And I'm like, okay, like I was heckling him and stuff, and it didn't like throw him off his game at all. Like he just kept trying. So I had to give it to him. I mean, I was laughing at him, and they would blow him off and they'd walk by and everything, and I'm like, nice try, and he'd be like, make a face at me or whatever, and then like he would try again and he would try to spit game at the next one that walked by, and he'd say whatever, and she would just like totally ignore him and walk by or whatever. And like, guys would try to spit game at me, and of course I would ignore him and stuff like that, because I hate when people do that. But like I'd watch him do it to like different girls that walk by. And it's a numbers game. And the thing is that really like doesn't work. Like when you walk by and a guy's like, hi pretty lady, how are you doing today? Like, she's gonna walk by because she knows you've said it to like 1 million women already. Every woman that walked by, every halfway decent looking woman that walked by, he said it within like a certain age range. Every single, it was like most of them didn't even hear him. Most of them weren't even paying attention. They were looking the other way. They walked by and he would be like blah, 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 as she walked by, and he would just like say the same thing over and over and over. He had like the same 3 lines that he said over and over and over and over to every single one that walked by. And I was just standing there eating my sandwich, drinking my drink, just watching him do it, and just kind of laughing at him and heckling him. And I'm like, oh, struck out again, huh? And I was just laughing at him and stuff, right? And he kept trying, and it was just the numbers game. So I really don't know if that ever worked, if that strategy like ever worked, if he ever got anyone by doing that. But some guys will just try over and over and over and over, and maybe he hung out at the food court like all day and tried talking to girls all day, but he had like just a few lines that he tried on every single person. And I mean, he could have been at it all day, and he may, I don't know if he ever got anyone's number, if he ever got anyone to ever make eye contact with him or anything like that. But my dad calls it the numbers game. And he just said, some guys will just talk to like 100 women every day and try doing that. And he goes, some guys have nothing better to do, and they will just try talking to women all day and do that. And I knew guys at school that did that, tried talking to girls all day. Guys will do it at the mall. Guys will do it at the grocery store. And they will just, if you're like halfway decent looking and somewhere near their age, within 20 years, they'll try it. The numbers game. So that's what that is. And it's just, they become desensitized to the rejection. Because I was heckling him. I was laughing at him. I'm like, oh, she got away. Try again. And I'm like, laughing at him and stuff like that. Because I knew what he was doing. Because my dad told me about the numbers game. And I'm just, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, waiting for my boyfriend. He goes, oh, okay. I'm like, try again. Here comes another one. I was just kind of like drinking my drink, just kind of like laughing at him, and he kept trying every girl that walked by. But that's what they're doing. So, yeah. It's so when you're walking by and guys are trying to spit game at you, they're playing the numbers game. That's what that is. You don't have to do much to qualify for the numbers game. So you should ignore guys that do that. Unless you're pretty thirsty yourself. But that's what that is. So apparently it works. Because they have to get somebody to talk to them. I mean, eventually someone has to make eye contact. Eventually someone has to get distracted and look over at him. I mean, it must work or else they wouldn't keep doing it. So, I don't know. I wonder if he ever got anyone to talk to him. So, I didn't hang out there every day. I didn't see him out there every day. So, anyway, who knows? So, that's what that is, the numbers game. All right. Well, I love you, otherworldlies. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.